Hey all, a quick note before we begin. It seems that less than 10% of viewers who watch this channel are actually subscribed, so if you can, definitely subscribe for more content in the future. We'll do our best to get more videos out to you as soon as we can. Alright, on to the video. Hey! Guess who's back? Back again, to kick some ass, in Final Fantasy II. And I'm gonna stop trying to mimic the great Clement's little Luigi's Mansion bit. I can't do that to save my life.
One butchered pronunciation later. Yes, we're finally back with Final Fantasy II. We are so frigging sorry that it has taken us this long to get back to this series. We've just had so much insane nonsense going on as of late. Some of which we can't even talk about here for sensitivity's sake. It's been a wild July for us so far.
And on top of that, we're at the part of Final Fantasy II where the game just begins to get boring. I mean, this game is just boring from start to finish. When you're not spending hours training your stats up so you don't get demolished, you're running through dungeons, easily smashing everything in sight, including the bosses, because you're too overpowered for them to pose a threat. There is no happy medium in this game. You're either too overpowered or weak as fuck.
Yeah, this ain't no Final Fantasy IV, which managed a pretty consistent difficulty curve all throughout the journey. This game's difficulty is just all over the place, depending on how long you spend training the party up. And 9 times out of 10, you either didn't train enough and get owned, or you trained too much, like we did, and threw the entire game's difficulty right out the goddamn window. You can probably guess which category we fall under.
Also, how convenient that we've found someone willing to sail with us to our next destination. This totally isn't a trap at all. Wink, wink.
I feel like you don't understand how winking works. Anyway, yeah, if you couldn't tell, this is going to be our next temporary party member. She sucks, are you surprised?
Yeah, I honestly feel like, again, this game has earned its title as the black sheep of the series. Its core design is so fundamentally flawed, it would make Wizard 101 blush. And that game had a core meltdown a couple of days ago that took it offline for a majority of the day, out of left field. Typical King's Isle, am I right?
Ha ha ha! I will never get bored of bashing on King's Isle. Get your crusty, musty, rusty, can't get any busty bitch's ass out of here, you Harry Potter rejects.
Somehow, I don't feel like these pirates appreciated that insult you just fired off into the void.
They're just salty because the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie was a great big truckload of bullshit, and we haven't seen a new movie since. Not surprising, considering Disney's more focused on live-action remakes that suck big fat donkey nuts, and watching the MCU burn up from the inside out.
Jesus, Alex, don't hurt them now.
Well, this battle is pathetically easy, even if we weren't over-leveled. Although I gotta say, what the actual fuck is this design for the pirate enemies? They look like some crappy fan art you'd see on DeviantArt. Big fat torsos and fish faces? Really, Square Enix? I thought you had higher standards than this.
Yeah, they had it down hard with the pirate design in the first Final Fantasy. This second game just makes them look like total dumbasses. Fitting, I suppose, but still, it just feels insulting as a guy who beat numerous pirate games over the years.
Ouch, Chris. That was just cruel.
Someone around here is clearly trying to burn down the pirate ship we just acquired. You're not secretly working for the Empire, are you, Chris?
Nah, that would be more Gus's thing, not to spoil anything or anything like that.
Foreshadowing at its finest.
4 pointless subplots later.
Well, now that we're done running all over the damn place like a headless chicken, I just want to point out that we had to race back to Altair and grab some keywords from Gordon. So now we're ready to continue, and here's where we are on the map for reference.
Alright, let's get back on the path forwards. Also, I'd just like to point out that we're having some pretty serious issues on our editor's side right now, so apologies if there are any errors in the video from this point onwards. Our editor is usually pretty good at catching and correcting small mistakes, but everybody has their limits, especially when they're working on an empty stomach due to a broken refrigerator.
Oh God, here we go. I knew this was going to come up eventually.
Nah, that whole situation is fucked up. Refrigerator breaks down, a new one is ordered, the Home Depot doesn't recognize the physical address it's being delivered to, so it gets lost on the wrong side of a mountain. The delivery company lies about taking it to the nearest post office for pickup, which is a 15-mile drive to and from the place it needs to go, and now they refuse to answer their damn phone for anybody? Jesus fucking Christ. I suppose next we'll hear that the damn thing was stolen or mysteriously disappeared from the warehouse. It's in right now, 200 miles away.
Holy shit. And I thought the Home Depot was better than that. But I guess that's what happens when you get a desert rat to do a mountain man's job. You'd think they'd do the smart thing and take the fridge to the store in Show Low for pickup. But nope. The delivery company just took it back down into the deserts of central Arizona with them. Because why the hell not?
And you just know that everybody on the internet is going to catch the sloppy seconds of that. I don't know about you two, but I'm not looking forward to the next couple of weeks of our lives.
Yeah, if I've learned one thing about Bulldozer Man, it's that if something gets between him and food, someone is going to die. Just look what happened to what's-his-name from 8 years ago, and that was before we came along. This is not going to end well.
Which is exactly why I think we better get off this subject and focus on the game. Because frankly, I don't feel like dying right now. And this is exactly the kind of shit people get killed over. Just saying.
Right, well, we're here in this castle, and this child is going to lead us to his mother. These two are pretty much the last of the Dragoons in this world. We'll learn in a moment what happened to the rest of them, and the wyverns they ride.
Let's just say the Empire resorted to some very shaky tactics to get rid of the Dragoons and Wyverns. I know all is fair in love and war, but this was just ridiculous. Alright, I scored myself a shiny new sword out of a chest in this castle. We'll get similar swords as drops in the next dungeon for Alex to use, so don't worry. We're not forgetting our resident speed demon.
Hell yeah!
Alright, here we are, the next dungeon. And as usual, it's just another run through caves, and more caves fighting monsters. We've seen this a million times. It's time to yap over all this dungeon crawling. Anything you guys want to talk about?
Well, I think I'll start us off by saying, holy fucking shit, why are gacha games so damn shitty right now? It feels like every other day we fire up YouTube and see several shorts talking about one or more of them. And some new drama they've managed to land themselves in. It's just out of control by this point.
I wish I knew. Genshin Impact is practically a vegetable now, with how much trouble it's landed itself in, and the other games aren't faring much better. The one exception is Reverse 1999, thank God. But it is getting very concerning.
Yeah, one has to wonder how gacha games became such a magnet for drama and controversy. This is just flat out ridiculous by this point. Everything from voice actor mismanagement, to PR nightmares, to angry fanboys yelling over ridiculous things, and even international political bungling, gacha games are in a bad spot right now.
Here's to hoping they can still pull out of all the drama, but I don't have my hopes high right now.
Actually, now that we've brought it up, I'm just going to ask, where the hell is the Reverse 1999 and Assassin's Creed collab already? It's literally July, and if we don't hear anything about it before August comes and goes, I'm going to assume the collab was either pushed back into next year, or just outright cancelled.
No, Alex, you got a valid point there. This is the 16th birthday of the most peak game in the Assassin's Creed series, that being number 2, featuring Ezio, and if Reverse 1999 doesn't deliver on that collab this year, there are going to be some people at Blue Poach Games getting sword beamed in the face. No cap.
Holy shit, Chris! Take a chill pill! You're tripping if you think making threats like that is going to help anything.
It'll help my desire to beat those blue bastards' heads in for making us wait so long for that collab. No offense, Melody.
None taken, but do try to calm down.
And while she's calming down, our next commercial break's coming up.
Oh, great. Here we go again. You know, I always wished we could get services like YouTube and Twitch to deliver us ads in a way that didn't rattle the nerves of every sane person in a 4-block vicinity.
Yeah, that'll happen when Assault Rifle Guy stops screaming assault rifles at the top of his lungs like it's going out of style.
Implying it was ever in style to begin with.
Oh boy. We'll be right back, folks.
Hey, look at that. 3 former bosses now reduced to common enemies inside a trapped chest. Talk about disgraceful.
Now that's just embarrassing. Get your teenage mutant ninja turtle reject-looking asses out of here.
Gosh, Melody, don't hurt them now. Anyway, before we get sidetracked, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
How about that death battle between Tomcat and Wile E. Coyote that came out not long ago? I gotta say, that video was absolutely fucking fire, and I totally saw Wile E. Coyote taking that dub. Just saying it right now.
Even as a cat girl myself, I have to say, Tomcat deserved to lose that one. I still haven't forgiven him for murdering that poor old woman and her dog in the Fast and the Furry movie. I swear, even if we're supposed to hate Jerry, they make it so hard to side with Tom when he's pulling stunts like that.
Says the girl who can literally zap people's heads off with her ice magic.
Hey! Screw off and fuck off, Alex! That kind of stunt, throwing a spear at an innocent old woman and her dog, and watching with glee as they're sent falling to their doom, that makes cats using magic look innocent. I don't care if that spear was aimed at Jerry. The fact of the matter is, Tom killed those two, and didn't show an ounce of remorse for it. That cat is fucked in the head, no cap.
Exactly. That entire movie may be peak fiction, but the way it portrays Tom as this little devious gremlin who will resort to manslaughter and the destruction of entire countries just to get what he wants makes it so hard to take his side in his war against Jerry these days. I get that the movie was peak, but that part honestly went a little overboard, and it left me rooting for Wile E. Coyote during that death battle, even though Tom is my favourite animal.
Well, I guess you do raise a valid point. Still, though, was kinda rooting for him to take that one. But I guess karma just had a hate boner for him that day.
Or Tom is just trash in a trash compactor being taken to an overflowing dung heap. Overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable, mangled up in tangled up knots.
Oh no.
My well-toned British ears must be malfunctioning, because I could have sworn I just heard you call Tomcat trash while pulling out a Grinch reference. Are you high or something, Melody? Don't tell me you're a Jerry Dick rider.
Damn it, guys, come on.
And so what if I am? Jerry's a nice character, and Tom is pure evil. There's not much more to be said. Didn't you say so yourself that karma has had it out for Tom for decades now?
Come on, guys, not this again.
What I said is that karma's had it out for him for a while, but he still could have easily taken that victory. You're just salty because I'm talking smack about one of your fellow cats.
I am not salty. You're the one who's salty.
I am not!
R2!
I am not!
Stop!
R2.
Stop it right there, both of you. I'm not listening to this trash out of you guys today. Jesus Christ, can't you guys save the argument for later? You're going to give me a migraine with this endless—
I am not! 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 I am not!
I just don't understand it, man. First, our friends betray us, and we get slapped with the sloppy seconds of their actions. Then Bulldozer Man goes hog wild and attacks Twitter, and gets into some drama with some mentally handicapped Twitch whores who can't get a half-decent man to so much as pay attention to them for more than 5 minutes. Then we get sabotaged and nearly killed by a psychopath with an inferiority complex and a huge grudge against Gen Z. Now we're stuck with mediocre numbers on our YouTube channel, while our creator suffers with eternal misery at the hands of 2 brain-damaged dinosaurs who secretly want to nuke the entire internet off the face of the earth, along with everybody who uses it. Where did everything go so wrong?
Holy fucking crap. I think we broke him, Melody. You know, maybe we should stop doing that whole arguing thing. It's really getting us nowhere. Plus, we stole it from another channel that just recently did a Banger Sonic soundtrack tier list. If I do say so myself.
Well, you work on fixing him while I deal with these 3-headed horse butts over here.
Haha, good one. And yeah, we really need to quit arguing like that. It's getting us nowhere.
Well, Chris did have a point about something. Those silly VTubers on Twitch are struggling to find a meaningful relationship that doesn't end with them being stabbed in the back. Meanwhile, it seems like the girls can't keep away from us here on YouTube. Just look at this statistic right here. Roughly 80% of our viewers are female. That tells you something right there.
What the actual monkey nuts? How does that make a damn lick of sense? Don't they know Bulldozer Man is taken already?
Well, either some of them aren't here for that and are just here for the content, or they didn't get the message. Either way you spin it, the numbers don't lie. So take that, Twitch. Bet you'll think twice before you come over here and run your big, fat, ugly, hairy, crusty, musty on a rusty plane with no gain, can't get any waifu or husbando, making me feel pain with a Great Dane mouths around here again.
What the actual fuck even was that?
I'm not sure, but what I can say is that we're finally on Shutterstock.
Holy
That's
shit.
right, everybody. As I'm sure you know, there's a lot of great talent that goes into these videos. A lot of great talent. So much so, we can't fit it all into these videos, so we're going to be collecting various pieces of media, mostly pictures, and putting them on Shutterstock. Some will be put up for sale, while others will be used to help train those AI platforms we're so heavily dependent on in this modern age. Right now, we have 2 images up for sale, both of which are high-definition images taken from 2 of our very own video bumpers, and we'll have more available for sale in the coming months. Be sure to stop by and see what's available, and thanks in advance.
God damn it, Melody, that was an awesome plug. Way to go.
Thanks, Chris. I'm rather proud of it myself, and I'm glad you're all calm now. Sorry about earlier.
Hey, it's all cool. I gotta learn how to let the arguments roll off the skin at some point, you know?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We done fucked up. We were supposed to get an egg from this wyvern here, and then do that dungeon. We went out of order.
Well, that's what happens when you use a guide to find these places, but then quit reading it and decide to do this part of the game without it. But at least the boss in the dungeon is dead, so it should be fairly simple to get back down there.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. Besides, more opportunities to train our stats. We might as well go the whole 9 yards now that we're this deep into the game.
Golly, don't you know it. All right, back into the cave. Anything else you guys want to talk about while we make our second trip through this place?
Well, we can probably talk about the future of Minecraft on the channel. As many of you guys know, Minecraft is by far one of the most prominent games on this channel. And considering it's one of the biggest games of all time, it's no big shocker. However, and here's where the big however comes into play. I feel like we're going to have to start dialing it back on Minecraft videos on this channel, because they've kind of worn out their welcome around here lately. After 4 seasons of survival, one of which was ended prematurely because it just wasn't fun anymore. And that short-lived One Block series. That game has been pretty thoroughly milked on this channel. And honestly, I think it's time it had a break. So sometime after we wrap up Hardcore Run 2, whenever that'll be, and after a very special video we have planned for that game, we'll probably stop posting Minecraft content for a while. At least until Mojang puts out another huge update.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. That game has had one hell of a run on the channel, but boy does it need a break. Especially with all the fancy editing we'll have to do to the upcoming episodes of that series before we can publish them. And video editing is a long and lengthy process, especially when ElevenLabs gets involved. Just look at our Toram gang videos. So it's definitely time to let Minecraft take a back seat and let another game take center stage for a while. Maybe it'll be something on Steam or the PlayStation 2. But don't count on the latter until we can get a controller we can use.
I'll honestly miss Minecraft on the channel, but if you guys think it's wise to let it take a back seat for a while, then go right ahead. It's your decision after all.
Damn right. Sheesh, it feels like a lot of games we previously played on the channel are getting sidelined in favor of fresh new content. I mean, Wizard 101 and Toram Online are both shafted. Time Splitters is on indefinite hiatus. There's that Genshin Impact game that we're never fucking playing on this channel again. And not long before that, we wrapped up the series for Spider-Man 2, Nightfire, and Metroid Prime. We've done a lot on the channel, haven't we?
Hell yeah. And let's not forget some of the other games that we've seen around here. Left 4 Dead 2, Roblox, Toontown, hell, we even saw Monopoly and the Game of Life on here. I'm honestly excited to see what comes next. Maybe more Fallout 4, I've been wondering what happened to that series after the 2nd episode.
I was wondering that too. Where the hell did Fallout 4 go? We put out 2 episodes of a sequel series to our New Vegas series, and then it just vanishes off the face of the earth.
Bulldozer just straight up forgot about it for the longest time. I'm sure he'll get back to it one of these days. I feel like he's kind of burned out of Fallout for a while though, so don't hold your breath.
Well, that's fair enough. Here's to hoping we see more awesome Fallout videos soon enough. Also, great job on getting me twin wing swords to use. We take those.
And here's the life spring. Let's drop the egg in and get out of here.
Another dungeon down.
Well, guys, that's going to be all for today. Next episode, we'll go see the Dragoon woman and child again and figure out what our next course of action is. Truth be told, I honestly don't remember. It's been forever and a half since we've been this far into the game, so we might need to break out a strategy guide to help us find our way. Either way, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, everybody.
See you later, gang. Peace out. And here's a special shout out to our newest Blue Sky followers. Thanks a lot for all the support, everybody. It means a lot to us. We'll have new gaming videos and hopefully some new real-life videos out for you soon, assuming we suffer no further setbacks this summer. Okay, until next time, take care.